okay? Yeah. Or if you have anything suddenly pops up, we can, if I know, I can talk on things from Bhagavatam or Ramayana, whatever you all want. It's an interesting story. Yeah, King Yayāti, as we all well aware, is is an ancestor in Krishna's lineage. Um, he has done so much of yajñas, karma kanda sessions, especially following everything perfectly, and he got elevated to Svarga. Going to Svarga is a tough program. It's not that easy. It's just because people may think by default, if you do punya, we will all go to Svarga, and that's not the case. There are specific yagas that one has to perform to go to the heavenly planet. And even after we go to the heavenly planet, we only stay there for some period of the time until we have that karma, that credit, and then we'll be pushed off from the place down here. So Yayati happened to, even though Yayati got stuck into Kama Sukham in enjoying his life, taking the youthfulness of his one of the son. But then after he came to his senses and realized, and then by performing this yajna, he attained the Swargaloka. The king of the Amaravati, the place of in heaven, capital of heaven is Amaravati, was Indra, King Indra. So he invited him, and he was given nice asana. He was taken care nicely, enjoying the life there. But then we should know that the devatas have a mentality. Devatas' mentality is they don't want outsiders in their place for a long time. They don't like it. Uh, Even though you may have your H1, your green card, even if you're a citizen, um, some places doesn't like others. Likewise, Indra also always finds an opportunity to kick people off as soon as possible from that place. So he had a very nice conversation. They were all having good friendship, Yayati and Indra. But then back of the mind, Indra always was thinking that I have to send this guy off, otherwise he'll take my position. That's his fear. So I have to do something so I can continue being the king of the lord of the devatas. So one fine day, as they were sitting and talking and having conversation, Indra asked a question to Yayati. He has a question that while you were there on Bhuloka, on the earthly planet, during your time, who was Sarvabhouma? This is the question he asked. Who was Sarvabhouma? Who's Sarvabhouma means who's well versed in following all the dharmic principles, who knows everything, um, very well versed, and follows the Dharma Shastra very nicely. This was his question. And during that time, it was none other than Yayati, who was perfect in following everything as per the Shastra. This is the second part of Yayati, by the way, not the first part that we often hear from Srimad Bhagavatam. So he was the one who was perfectly following, and the whole world knows the greatness of Yayati, how great he was. Now the question is, while you are there, who was the Sarvabhauma at that time? Here is the problem. For you to stay in the heavenly planet, one thing for sure for Manusha to be in the Devata planet, you should never have pride. You should not self glorify. You should not lie. These are the conditions. If you do any of this mistake, you'll be kicked off the heaven. Kicked off the heaven. Now just imagine a question has been asked to Yayāti, who was Sarvabhouma during a period. If Yayāti says, I was Sarvabhouma, then he disqualified to continue staying in heaven. He'll be kicked off. If he says, I don't know, that means you're lying. Right? So you see the condition, how Indra was very carefully asking a question so that in way that Yayāti can be kicked off the heaven. Yayāti said, my dear friend, it is none other than myself. He said the truth. It's a fact. In Srimad, many people have this question when we read Bhagavad Gita. One should be humble. You see, Krishna is not at all humble because he says he is great everywhere. Pages after slokas, right starting from the 7th chapter itself, but it get more higher degree as we pass through the 9th chapter, 10th chapter, and you come to the 11th chapter. Is ultimate. So Krishna says that I am Sarvabhouma, I am so and so, I am so and so. So likewise, this person said that truth that I am Sarvabhouma. Then Indra said, thanks for being with us all this day, and you can go back. Sent him off. That was a short story of what happened in case of Yayāti. So the point is, wherever we go, however great we are, we should try to be very careful in a humble state of mind. And we definitely don't want to go to the place like Indrapatna because people there are untrustable. They don't want us there. But the one who wants us always is Krishna. He will not send us back. In fact, when we go back to Krishna, believe it or not, we will be treated as if we are Krishna by everyone. That means what? Everyone is respected greatly over there. Not that we become Krishna, we are all respected greatly. And of course, no one expects respects over there, but everyone is welcomed there. But we are not welcomed. We go to any other planet, we are not welcomed. We are an alien for them. So we all have to aspire to go back to Krishna, where Krishna wants us, rather than trying to find, I'll go to this place and that moon, that planet, this planet. It's of no use. All right, that's the story. What I was mentioning in the chat, and how this may be related to the question. I was just making fun, that's all. Where Shanta Mataji was asking that will you make sure whatever she has mentioned there, I can't remember now, something on those lines. So, yeah. So she was asking that I can't find it. But you
mentioned spiritual world, Prabhu.
Oh, what is it?
You mentioned spiritual world.
Yeah, so she was asking, you definitely, Haribol Prabhuji, you definitely take us, right? So it's like putting me into a Yayati question. Should I say yes or should I say no? Right? But anyway, I'm not qualified, definitely, not in a position to take anyone to the spiritual world, but I can direct them who can take us to spiritual world, and you can stick on to their lotus feet. And that's the purpose of this group. And it's not that to make myself in that great position guarantee that I can take everyone back to Godhead. So that's not what the message and this group is for. Directing to the person who can take us all back to the spiritual world. And like how Prabhupada said, you catch hold of my dhoti, and when I will take you back to spiritual world. And Prabhupada took an humble position and said, I am doing the same thing, catching hold of Bhakti Siddhanta, my Guru Maharaj dhoti. and my Guru Maharaj is holding his Guru Maharaj dhoti. Right? Therefore, the line of dependency goes in the Guru Parampara. And I repeat the same story again, as you all know, where a person got off while the Ramayana Pravachana is going on by Ramanujacharya. A disciple got off, getting up and walking away when the class was going on Vibhishna Śaraṇāgati by Ramanujacharya. And then Ramanujacharya, it's a disrespect for one to get up while the class is going on. Whether you like the class or you don't like the class, one should not get up and go during the class. That's an insult. That's an offense. So tolerate, bring cottons or something, push it inside, and just keep nodding your head when the lecture is going on. That's all we have to do if you don't like the lecture. But wait for a moment to get up respectfully. If you're getting and going away from the lecture, please do not walk away. The practice for devotees is if we have to get up and go, we pay our obeisance to the speaker, all the Vaishnavas who assemble there, and then like this, mentally take excuse and then walk away gently. That we can do. Not just come and sit and walk and go and in and out like any time as we want. That's not night Vaishnava etiquette. Now Ramanujacharya stopped this disciple and said, "How's that you're getting up and going? Did you like the rasa, the Vibhishna Sharanagati? Did you like these things?" And he said, "My dear Lord, if Vibhishna was put into such a situation by the Lord that to be accepted or not accepted, to be given shelter or not to be given shelter, what about my condition? I am the most fallen soul, and I think I have no hope." So I lost hope. And Ramanujacharya said, "Well, you don't have that much of hope or trust, maybe in Krishna, Ramachandra, because he put Vibhishna in that condition. May I ask you a question?" And that disciple said, "Yes, my dear Lord, my dear Guru Maharaj, tell me what's your question." He said, "Do you believe that I will go back to Krishna?" And he folded and fell at the feet of Ramanujacharya and said, my dear spiritual master, what a question is this? You will definitely go." And then Ramanujacharya said, "Well, when I go, I'll make sure I take you also. So you'll be let into the Vaikuntha." And then that disciple became so very happy. And he said, "This is exactly the question that I asked to my spiritual master. And this is exactly the same answer that my spiritual master gave to me." So we are not depending on our own strength to go back to Krishna. We are depending on the Guru Parampara. By their mercy, we will attain Krishna. So that's a point here. Thank you. Any general discussions, questions? Anyone has anything to talk? Or anyone want to share any snippets, short things?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavad Pranam.
Prabhu, we spoke about the glories of chanting, right? How powerful it is. Even when we start chanting, with the, when we initially started chanting, the pronunciation might not be correct, or, sometimes the attention span and, this one. And then gradually, even that Nama Basa stage, when you continuously do it, automatically it purifies you. And then we also discussed that Krishna consciousness is almost 99% chanting, right? Chanting is very, very, very important. But also, we also spoke about where there are offenses in that happens even after chanting. There might be a lot of offenses that. So I'm trying to. So it's not like fixed, Prabhu. It can go either way. It can go this way also. Why is there's no fixation, Prabhu, in that?
No, it is fixed. Let me tell you this one. Nice question. Tell me this one. This is the process of Sharanagati, where we perform bhakti, keeping Sharanagati as our foundation. We remove the Śaraṇāgati and only try to practice bhakti on a theoretical state, then there's no base for that bhakti. It will fall off. But if we place Śaraṇāgati as a base and foundation and perform bhakti, the Śaraṇāgati that we perform to the Lord will save us in spite of any unknown or even known mistake that we might have committed. So this is all again maybe like some cloudy thing. Let me elaborate on this one. So we have surrendered to Krishna. I mean, we have to surrender to Krishna. Once we surrender to Krishna, Krishna forgives our mistakes. Doesn't matter what mistake we must have committed. Krishna will forgive us. The only two places that he does not forgive us, two things. Who knows what those are? I've told several times. Who knows what are the two things that Krishna will not forgive and our Śaraṇāgati will be rejected? What are the two things?
Offenses to the bhakta.
Yes, number one is offenses to
Bhaktas.
bhaktas, devotees. Vaishnava aparad is the worst that you have to even imagine to do that if you're serious in Krishna consciousness. Never to do Vaishnava aparad, number one. Number two, that is also serious matter.
Doing mistakes on the strength of the holy name.
No,
Mm.
it is, but that's not going to deny the our surrender. There's one more, another serious thing.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Rachana Mataji.
Prabhuji, disobeying the spiritual master, like neglecting the instructions of the spiritual master.
Yes, that also in one sense falls into the first category. What was told, offense to the devotees, it can be grouped together. If you're not following your spiritual master, that's an offense to the spiritual master, is it not?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that can be clubbed together.
Okay.
Okay, let me tell you. The second one is Anya Devata Puja. Anya Devata Puja means taking shelter at the feet of other devatas. When Krishna is the only soul, only person who can save us, we are also depending on other devatas. Krishna plus etc. Right? I am a Krishna Bhakta, but I'm also depending on many things for that matter. I'm depending on this god, on that god, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll do that puja, this puja. It's not necessary to do any, here is where the point is. If you have your tradition of certain things that you've been following in your family, some people have this thing that they follow in their family for age to years from the generation. If you're wanting to do that, that's a different thing. But they can, as a tradition, if they want to do, they can do it with a proper understanding. I'm just doing this as a ritual. That's all I'm trying to do. But one should not surrender or worship to the devata. So these are the 2 points. Anyway, coming back to the question, I just got distracted to something else. So coming back to the thing that once you are surrendered, you are sold out to Krishna. And Krishna, in between, if we commit any mistakes, any of those things, Krishna will rectify this mistake in some way or the other. He will either punish us or he may be kind enough to let go. That's if we have done something which is unknowingly done, right? Unknowingly done, then Krishna will forgive that. Let me show you something which you may be interested in. Let me go to my drive and see if I can find this and share screen. You may like this. So what are the different types of offenses, and how Krishna is going to address these offenses, and how he's going to forgive us for what we are going to be punished. All those things are I put together a presentation which you may like it. Yeah, I found it. I have the sharing thing, right?
Yes, Prabhu, everyone can share.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to share this now, the screen, and walk you all through what I'm sharing. Let me know if you all can see my screen.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can see.
Okay, be ready, focus here. Okay, this is another nice, beautiful topic.
You wanted to keep in presentation mode, Prabhu. It's very small.
You want me to change it to presentation mode? Okay.
Yeah, on the top also. Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, can you see that better?
Yes.
Okay, so let me explain this this flow chart. Be with me. There are a lot of technical things are here. Karmas are two types, right? This is karma you see here. This is karma over here. And there are, I don't have, unfortunately, this laptop, I think I did not install the Balram font. Therefore, you see all this dot and different things. When you see two dots, then you should understand it is Purvaha, Va, Purvaha, and Dhira. Anyway, so karma is two. One is called Purvaha, another is called Uttaraha. Purvaha means sins committed before one surrenders. Uttaraha means sins committed after surrendering. Arun's, your question falls under this category, and we are not going to add. Please do not start browsing through all your eyes over here. You're confused. So follow the flow that I'm telling here. Just come with me. Karma are two types. Sins committed before we surrendered, sins committed after we surrendered. Now we're coming to Purvaha. Since that committed before we Śaraṇāgati are two again. Prarabdha. Prarabdha. In the Prarabdha, where we can know, there's also called Sanchita. Sanchita karma and Prarabdha karma. You can see this, right? You can see this arrow over here. Am I showing, you're able to see the movements of the
Yes,
cursor?
Prabhu.
Okay, the Purvaha is divided into two. One is called Sanchita karma. Another one is called Prarabdha karma. Then forget about the Prarabdha karma for now. Go to Sanchita karma. When you surrender to Krishna, the Sanchita karma means that karma which has not commenced yet. It's not started yet. Those are called Sanchita karma. It's not even started. So that's called Sanchita karma. So in the Sanchita karma, when we surrender, two things takes place. When we surrender, the Lord takes sankalpa. The Lord takes sankalpa that shamami, he says that shamikshami. Samikshami is at this time of surrender, the Lord commits to destroy all the Sanchita karma. Okay. When we surrender, Lord makes a promise. Sarvadharmana parityaja mamekam saranavat aham tva sarvapapyebhyah. When Krishna says sarvapapyebhyah, sanchita karma is there, where he says, when you surrender unto me, he takes the position of shamikshyami, I forgive you. On what? From all the sanchita karma over here. That means he waves off the sanchita karma. And then at the time he waves off means it's not taken off yet. It's not destroyed yet. He says that I've forgiven you from all the Sanchita karma, but when we are ready to leave our body, the Lord takes a second sankalpa, Shantam. Shanta means at that point when you are leaving the body, that's when all the Sanchita karma get wiped off. When we surrender, he makes a promise to us that I'll forgive you from Sanchita karmas. When we leave the body, you can see the arrow here. When we leave the body, the Lord takes a second sankalpa called Shantam. At the time, he completely removes the Sanchita karma. So Sanchita karma is finished when we leave the body. Okay, that's the part of Purvaha. Now, Purvaha is the second part called Prarabdha. Prarabdha, arabdha is started. Prarabdha is started already. That means you cannot, you have turned on the engine. The engine is running right now. There's no question of stopping the engine. It has to, you can stop the engine, but it's going to take its time to get fully stopped. So that is prarabdha karma. It will run. It will run. This prarabdha karma is started, and one important point we all wrongly understand is that prarabdha karma means this lifetime. After I die, again some account will be taken from sanchita karma, and in my next lifetime, prarabdha karma starts. That's a wrong understanding, because prarabdha karma by itself may run into tens and hundreds of lifetimes. Please understand that one. Then we can imagine how much the sanchita karma would be that we all have to go through. Prarabdha karma is not one lifetime. It may run to different lifetime. Okay. Now, prarabdha karma, um, uh, um, Sharirantra, because this font is not right. Sharirantra arabdha. This is again called it falls into two categories: Sharirantra arabdha, and Vartamana Sharira arabdha. This prarabdha again has two types here: Vartamana Sharira arabdha, Sharirantra arabdha. Let's see what that means now. Sharirantra arabdha means fruits that we enjoy now, but for the karmas of earlier birth. Okay, we are suffering or enjoying some karmas which is carried over from the previous birth, and the previous birth thing is not from the sanchita karma. Please understand, it continues from the prarabdha karma only. Sanchita karma is not touched once you get the prarabdha karma. So therefore, sharirantra arabdha means fruits that we enjoy now, whether it's a good or bad, but for the karmas of the earlier birth. Okay. What happens to this when we surrender? Please, we are talking about Śaraṇāgati. What happens when we surrender is this is what happens. The remaining punya karma for the second sankalpa goes on to the well-wisher. That means when we die, at that time, whatever the remaining karma that we have, the bad karma and good karma, it's not goes into unaccounted. All the good karma of the devotee will be given, shared among those devotees who have done good for the devotee. Okay, if I have helped you in some way or the other, and you're going back to Krishna, and your remaining karma is still there, prarabdha karma is not over yet. It's still there, but your Krishna decided to take you back to spiritual world. That means the remaining portion of good karma and bad karma has to be accounted. It just cannot be dissolved just like that. It has to be accounted. So what Krishna does is that remaining portion of the bad karma from the prarabdha karma, the bad karma are all given to the enemies of these devotees. These devotees going back to Krishna Loka. It will be shared among all the devotees or all the people. They will take the bad karma. Likewise, the remaining portion of the good karma will be taken and shared among those people who are in favorable and support of the devotees who is returning back to spiritual world. Please understand, this is very important, why we should not commit offense to devotees. And this is exactly what's going to happen. If we offend a devotee, that devotee, we don't know, he may or she may go back to Krishna Loka, Vaikunta, and remaining portion of their bad karma is I'm going to take over that. It will come to me. So for that reason, better not to, we have enough of already karma, let us not increase someone else's karma also. So that's what happens. Krishna mercifully, when he makes a second sankalpa shantam, he divides the good karma and bad karma based on the devotee's relationship, others' relationship with this devotee, whether they've been good or whether they've been bad. That ends over here, Sharirantara Arabdha Karma. Okay, now, Vartamana Sharira Arabdha. There's another one called Vartamana Sharira Arabdha, fruits of karma that stays within this birth. That means there are some karmas which is meant to be within this birth, what about those things that he has to finish? Please understand, one more time repeating, prarabdha karma may run into many lifetimes. But for one who is surrendered, Krishna guarantees this lifetime I will take you back to spiritual world. Okay, that is fine. But the prarabdha karma, which is going to be extended beyond this lifetime, what about that? You don't worry about it. That karma I will divide among your good people and bad people. That is what happens over here. Okay, I'm not able to see you all or anything. Hope this makes sense. Say yes or no.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, if you have questions, you can ask me later. Hold on. I have multiple slides on different things. What about karma yoga, karma, and other karmas? But I'll just focus on this. So next one is called Vartamana Sharira Arabdha. That means that karma is remaining in this lifetime. Okay, the past this lifetime, Krishna is going to take care of that prarabdha karma by dividing and giving to people. But I'm already in this lifetime where I still have some karma left over for me to finish and die, leave this body. So I go back to Krishna Loka, right? What will happen to that karma? The devotees are two categories who falls into Śaraṇāgati are two types of Arti Prapatti, Tripti Prapatti. Arti Prapatti and Tripti Prapatti. Prapatti means surrender. Śaraṇāgati, Prapatti, these are synonyms, different names. So Arti Prapatti and Tripti Prapatti means, Arti Prapatti means the Vartamana Sharira Arabdha Karma is completely removed because this devotee, out of his love for Krishna, he cannot stay in this world even for a moment without Krishna. He come to that stage where he cannot sustain his life without being with Krishna. He cannot wait until this Vartamana Sharira Arabdha Karma is finished. He want to go immediately to Krishna. That type of devotees are called Arti Prapatti. They want to go immediately to Krishna. For such devotees, Krishna will also remove that remaining portion of Vartamana Sharira Arabdha Karma, which otherwise would have taken him for until he was 70 years or 80 years or whatever the years left out to go through good and bad things. So Krishna says, okay, you cannot live without me even for a moment. I will take you right away. Immediately I'll take away your karma. I will destroy them. Krishna will remove all the karmas at that point. Deepti Prapati is people say, I surrender to you, Krishna, but I have my family responsibility. I have my daughter, I have my son, my parents are there. I have some mortgage to pay. My life is not settled yet. I have to settle my wife, my husband, etc., etc. I have to do this one. I have surrendered to you. You are my only soul. I'm not praying to any of the devatas. I'm not making any offense to the devotees. But let me finish this life and come back to you. I've started this one. Let me finish this life and come back to you. At that point of time, that person goes through whatever remaining part of karma he has to go through that things. Right? Good or bad. He goes through that one and finished by enjoying or suffering for the remaining period of the time, the Vartamana Arabdha, Sharira Arabdha Karma. Vartamana Sharira. Vartamanam, currently, that's with the Sharira, whatever the karma currently with this body is called Vartamana Sharira Arabdha Karma, which has been started already. Okay, that's the second part. So one more time, Purvaha is Prarabdha, Purvaha is Sanchita. Sanchita, Krishna completely forgives it, removes it completely at the time of death. Prarabdha karma, where Sharirantara Prarabdha karma, Krishna removes everything beyond this lifetime. The Prarabdha karma, which may go beyond this lifetime, Krishna takes that karma and shares among good people and bad people of this devotee. Bad people get the bad karma of this devotee, departing devotee, and good people who supported this devotee, departing devotee, they get the share of the good karmas. Whereas Vartamana Sharira Arabdha karma is the karma which is already in place for this lifetime. Lal Gopal Das, this lifetime, living this time. He's been forgiven beyond this lifetime. His Sanchita karma has been forgiven. Now, the karma that's going on right now, he has to finish this karma until he lives in this world. When he leaves the body, then that karma he suffered and he enjoyed and he finished. But in that Vartamana Sharira Arabdha Karma, the surrendering of two types, Arti Prapatti and Ripti Prapatti. Arti Prapannas are those one who cannot wait for a moment in separation of Krishna. They want to be with Krishna. Krishna says, you don't need to go through all this good and bad karma for rest of this life until you have that age. I'll take you right away. I'll finish, wipe off everything. And for those who said, well, I've surrendered, let me finish this life and come back to you. Well, you go through the good and bad of this life, or whatever is remaining for this karma from your prarabdha karma, this lifetime. Are we good so far with Purvaga?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Question.
Now let's move on to Uttaraha. Uttaraha
Prabhu,
means, one second. Uttaraha means we are all human. That means even though we are chanting, even though we are surrendered, but we are in this world, we are not pure yet. There are high possibility that we commit mistakes, offenses, etc. even after we surrender. Do you all agree or not? I can't see any of you. Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So even after we surrender, there are chances, high chances for us to commit mistakes. What about those mistakes? That's called Uttaraham. Purvaham has been addressed. Now, Uttaraham, I am surrendered to Krishna. So, what about this? That again falls into two categories: Ajnana Kritam, Jnana Kritam. Jnana Kritam, Ajnana Kritam. How beautifully Krishna does is, you surrender to me and you commit offenses unknowingly. Ajnana Kritam. Kritam means an action performed, right? Jnana means knowledge. Ajnana means without knowledge. Without knowledge, if I commit any offense to a devotee or anything, mistakes, Krishna is so very merciful. He gives two options to us. I perform Ajnana Kritam karma, which is unknowingly I do something, and I come to a realization that I later come to a realization, yes, I did this unknowingly. So there are two things, that is Sanutapa. Sanutapa, Niranutapa. Niranutapa. Sanutapa, Niranutapa means that Sanutapa means I feel repentant for the mistake that I've done. I repent for the mistake that I've done. That's number one. If you repent for the mistake that you've done unknowingly, Krishna forgives that mistake also. And especially if you have committed offense to the devotees, you go to the devotee and seek for forgiveness. That is what Krishna is expecting. Unless you do not do that, you won't be forgiven. So therefore, Sanuthapa means I did unknowingly some mistake. Now I came to know that I made a mistake. I fall at the feet of Krishna. I fall at the feet of the devotee seeking for forgiveness. I repent for my mistake. Krishna says, I wipe off that karma. Niranutapa means I came to know unknowingly I did this one. I justify myself that was done unknowingly. For that one, Krishna does not forgive. We have to suffer for that sin that we have committed in this very lifetime. Now, coming back to the second category of Uttaraha is Jnana Kritam. Jnana Kritam means I am doing offense knowingly. This is a serious matter. I am doing offense knowingly. If I do a mistake, that's a serious matter. Knowingly offending devotees, knowingly talking bad about devotees, knowingly, doing something, right? So again, that falls into a two category. Niranutapam, Sanutapam. Sanutapam is where I now repent for the mistake I have done knowingly. Therefore, Krishna, I shouldn't have done this one. I have committed this big offense. I'm repenting for that one. I'm very sorry. And then Krishna puts a tick mark. Okay, because you repent for the mistake that you have done and you've taken a right course of action, I forgive you from that sin also. Even if it's an offense to a devotee, I'll forgive you from that offense also. Niranutapa means knowingly I did, and I justify my mistake to be the right thing to be done. It is others' fault, not my fault. This is going back to the yesterday's discussion where we are not taking the ownership of our mistakes. We are taking the role of a victim. That means what? What's the role of a victim? Oh, that person did this to me. That person this to me. I am helpless. Okay. This is called victim position. Taking a victim role. That means I'm helpless. I'm going through all this thing. Everyone is talking about me, doing this one, that person, this person, etc., etc. I'm in a helpless, projecting oneself to be in a pathetic situation and trying to gain sympathy from others for they being the victim, for everyone is being doing whatever they are doing to this particular person. So that position Krishna does not like. By the way, Krishna does not like for oneself doing mistake knowingly and telling themselves to be identifying as a victim for things are happening. Krishna doesn't like such nature. So the point here is we take the ownership. Everything that's happening, we from our studies so far, we should know that it's simply happening because of my own karma. No one is cause of my suffering other than myself. My husband is not cause of my suffering. My wife is not. My friends are not. My co-peers are not. My manager is not. My employer is not. That devotee is not cause of my suffering. It is me alone who's cause of my own suffering. But what I'm doing is no, because of that devotee I'm suffering. Because of my colleague I'm suffering. No, it's not the case. That means we have not understood Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness very clearly says, when I say Krishna consciousness, the Shastras very clearly says, any suffering that we are going through is not caused by someone else. Of course, if you have offended a devotee and you've taken the share of that devotee bad karma, then you're suffering. That's not because of you did. Because of the offense you committed, you got the share of the that nice devotee who's returned back to Vaikuntha. His bad karma is given to you. You suffer for what you have not done. But you offended the devotee. That's why you got the share. That's a possibility. That's a possibility of that one also is there. So jnana kritam is that karma I am committing sins knowingly and I do not repent at all. I'm not willing, I'm trying to think myself what I did is right. The fault is on someone else, not me. And that is not Vaishnava nature, that is not Vaishnava qualities, and that's not what Krishna is expecting from practicing devotees. And how do you say who's practicing devotees and who's advanced devotees? How much ever we are all have to be identify ourselves as a practicing devotees. Even if you've been in the movement for 30, 40 years, even if you are Prabhupada's disciple, doesn't matter. We are all practicing devotees. We are not perfected yet. Therefore, mistakes could happen in our life in dealings with devotees, dealing with anyone. So we have to understand our position. What is the cause of this mistake? How should I correct myself? We have to start thinking inwardly rather than trying to look for people whom I can blame for my suffering. That is not right mentality in Krishna consciousness. We take the blame on ourselves because I'm suffering because of my own karma. I repent for my behaviors. I repent for my mistakes. I repent for what's happening, what I've done. And that person will be forgiven. If not, Niranutapa sins will continue and that person has to suffer for the bad karma. So, to summarize, karma is categorized into this is a different view altogether um, for you to understand what happens to a person who is completely surrendered to Krishna. Karma has two types. One is Sanchita karma. One is a Purvaha karma and Uttaraha karma. And this is in the context of one who has surrendered to Krishna. Purvaha karmas be the sins committed before he surrendered. Uttaraha karmas sins committed after he surrendered. Purvaha karma is again when he surrendered to Krishna. Sanchita karmas are all wiped off at the time of leaving the body. And the prarabdha karma, whatever the karma is waiting on his door to continue in the next lifetime, is all divided among the good people and bad people for this devotee. And the Vartamana karma, which is within this lifetime, Lal Gopal Das, within this lifetime, the remaining, until my life is going to end, remaining part of good karma and bad karma is there. For that one, it's based on my mentality. Whether my surrendering mentality, I cannot wait for a next moment. I want to be with Krishna right away. Then Krishna said, I'll take you right away. Don't worry about it. What about my remaining portion of the karma for next 10 years, 20 years? What of the year I left out in this body? I'll wipe off those things. Don't worry. That has been waived off. Okay. Well, I like to stay in this world until my life is finishes. And let me settle down my family and etc. and whatever I'm doing. Let me do those things. Or let me continue doing my services and until this life end. And I'll come back to you, Krishna. Well, no problem. For whatever this little bit is left out, you enjoy or suffer and finish it off. Remaining portion, you finish it off. Now, Uttaraha karma, ajnana kritam, jnana kritam. Ajnana kritam is unknowingly done. When we repent, sanutapam, when you repent for that one, that sins are forgiven. When you when you come to realization, I've done some mistake unknowingly, and you don't repent for that, you suffer for that. Whereas jnana kritam is the same thing. You repent for knowing, you repent for that sins that you have committed knowingly and seek for forgiveness. Then Krishna removes that sin, waves off that. You know that you committed the sin, but you're not taking an action. You're not repenting for the mistake. Rather, you're just continuing to be as you are by blaming others. That is niranutapam. Therefore, you have to suffer for the sin yet to come. The question that you asked brought me to this page. So we are all Śaraṇāgatas. We do our best in Krishna consciousness, and we very cautiously deal our relationship with our devotees, and then follow the best that we could of avoiding the 10 offenses and following the principles has been given by the ācāryas to the best. If mistakes happen while we doing these things and we repent for that and seek forgiveness, Krishna will address that. Sanutapam. Jnanakritam sanutapam. And your committed offenses or continuing offenses without your knowledge, Krishna forgives that also. When you realize that you have committed mistake unknowingly and you repent for that, Krishna forgives that also. If not, in both cases, we have to suffer for our mistakes. Did that help, Arun? I took a long time to answer your question.
Yes, Prabhu, very much help, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Prabhu,
All
I
right.
have a question on this.
One second. Can you please hold on for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Just a minute. I'll be right back. Sorry. A second. Sorry about it. Rukmini needed some attention. Okay. Amognam Prabhu, did you have a question?
Yeah. First, Shanta Mataji asked the question.
You want me to unshare this, or you want me to continue sharing this one for your question? Okay, go ahead and ask a question based on that. Because I won't be able to see at least few paces here.
Yeah. So one question I had that if I reflect on myself, we commit a mistake, we beg forgiveness, we repent for that, and next time we commit the same mistake. So where do we fall actually in this?
Same thing. You just apply the same thing into this chart. If you commit, Hati Snan, right? You do this one, you again go and commit this one, and we get into the habit of repeating this one. It's not good. But because we have surrendered to Krishna, Krishna says that I'll forgive you, but if you repeatedly doing this one, you have to take some punishment for that one. You have to suffer for that one. Okay? It's not that every time I knowingly doing the same mistake, And I repent. Oh, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done. We should not find a loophole here for such behaviors. Krishna, well, looks like you definitely need some treatment here. So I will give some treatment where you will completely stop doing this business. It could be a situation of health situation where Krishna puts us in a situation. Let me throw simple example. Just a simple example. No devotee hopefully does this one. I don't like to say I don't like to eat onion dosa. I mean, I like to eat onion dosa. I'm just taking a very simple example. Could be a serious things also. I don't like to eat onion dosa. I've surrendered. I go to hotel and order for a onion dosa. Right? I repent. Oh my God, I shouldn't have done this one. This is not what I should be doing as a devotee and going to the restaurant and eating. This is all not good behavior. Good behavior. I shouldn't have done this one. I'm sorry, Krishna. Krishna forgives. I'm coming to Canada to see you, Niagara Falls, and no one is around, and you also didn't come with me. And there's a restaurant there, Punjabi restaurant there. I go there and then order all Punjabi item with onion, garlic, and everything. Who's watching there? And then, oh, Krishna, I shouldn't have done this one. Please forgive me. Krishna said, okay, looks like you need a different treatment now. And we come back to St. Louis. We come back to wherever we are. And doctor says, you should avoid these food. If you eat this one, your life will be in shake. Right? He said, in that list I'm going through, no onion. No doctor is going to tell, no, don't eat. I'm just giving an example. I can't think of anything else. The list says, no onion, garlic. If you eat this list, and your life in risk. Krishna puts us in a situation where we come to our knees, take an humble position. Krishna will teach us in some way or the other. But Krishna guarantees, I will not let you go. I'll teach you a lesson, but I will not let you go because you've surrendered. Okay. Shanta, Mataji. Was it Shanta or Kantarao Prabhu?
Kantara Prabhu also have a question, maybe as you call. Just I wanted to finish with my one of the question, Prabhu.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu, for answering. I have also similar question. You answered already, like eating onion dosa or watching movies or anything. It is the same. So Krishna will treat accordingly if you do same mistake repeatedly. Right, Prabhu?
Yeah. Yes, correct.
Prabhu, just a question because you mentioned Vartamana Karma. So, in that you mentioned Arti Prapati, where he will take immediately. Means, though the person has further life, I mean, he may have 20 more years to live in that body, but still Krishna will take. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, there are great souls.
But are there any examples at all, Prabhu?
Many souls are there. I can think of Tukaram is a nice example, himself, right? I can think of many Āḻvārs for that matter. Yes, some of these few examples, they've taken back because they cannot wait any further.
Sure. Thank you.
Do you fall into Arti Prapati, Adipti Prapati? Which Prapanna category do you belong to?
I don't know, Prabhu. I'm in the middle.
Krishna doesn't want this middle program. He only has 2 programs, either here or there. We don't want to create a new program here. Sujata or Kantarao family?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Danvat Pranam, Prabhu. Prabhu, in the very first succession of understanding karmas, like if Sanchita karma is removed in the first or second sankalpa, then how is this transferred or accumulated into prarabdha karma, Prabhuji?
No. I am surrendering in this body when the prarabdha karma is there. I am existing in this world itself means I am going through my prarabdha karma. Yes,
Okay, Prabhu, like because of our karma, we are taking another lifetime.
Yes. I mean, you can only surrender when you have a body.
Of course, yes, Prabhu.
You have a body, that means you have a karma. You have a karma means that is cannot be a sanchita karma, it has to be a prarabdha karma.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, because, okay, this is all happening because we haven't surrendered yet. But once we surrender,
Yes.
okay, Prabhu.
Yes. It is not a deep, this thing is not a default thing for anyone who has a body. It's only for those who surrender to Krishna who gets this, comes into this flow.
Okay, Prabhu. But after surrender, if we have Niranatapa, it is not transferred to Prarabdha karma or?
No, I mean that it's not, it's, I mean, you have to, that means you won't be extended to another life to suffer. You will suffer in this very lifetime and you will go back to Krishna.
Vartamana Sharirabdha Prarabdha.
Yes.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
That is why Krishna says, surrender to me. I will take up all the papas. This is that one sloka is what's been we discussed in this one slide. How does he do that one? Okay, now one second, Amona. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
There's people in the queue here. Bhopal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Prabhu. Prabhu, I had a question on the Ajnata Krita Karma. If you could go back to the chart, please, Prabhu.
Let me go back. One second.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhu. So this is on the top right, the Ajnana Kritam. So Prabhu mentioned that if you commit some mistake without knowledge and then you seek forgiveness, then that will be forgiven. But if I have committed a mistake unknowingly, then how do I know that I committed that mistake in the first place?
Exactly. That's why I'm telling. If you're committed mistake unknowingly, that's forgiven. But after 5 years, after 6 years, you realize that what you have done is actually a mistake. It falls into the jnana kritam. It comes into a jnana kritam because now you started realizing, instead of making it too complicated, I've separated into the category. So it's easy for the diagram. But usually unknowingly done is unknown. But after the fact, you realize that unknown thing comes to a known factor. Yeah, I remember. I shouldn't have. For example, this happens in our beginning stages of Krishna consciousness. We commit several mistakes unknowingly because we don't know the principle, we don't know the philosophy, we don't know any of those things. How to respect the devotees, whether to get up or sit, whether to offer them a seat, and whether to give them the prasadam first, or I should eat first and then give the rest to other. We have none of those ideas. We commit many types of offenses. All those things are forgiven as a package of entering into Krishna consciousness. Then later stage, you learn, and being in the association of the devotees, you think, oh my God, I behaved so bad in my early stages of Krishna. Even now, not early. What about early? Even now, after being in 10 years, 20 years, people don't understand how to behave, how to do things, and how to respect. So all it's not, anyway, things are not there, right? So we repent. That time is been forgiven. Yes?
But Prabhu, does Vaishnava Aparad also fall into this category? Because I remember that this pastime, I guess it was Rupa Goswami who was, meditating, and then he laughed at this devotee. So, but then he had to, actively find who was that person. But Prabhu, in that kind of situation, I'm just giving this example. But if we have committed a Vaishnava Aparad and we don't know it, but still our bhakti will be still checked, right? Because we have committed that offense. Until we get forgiveness from the devotee, we won't be able to make progress, right? So, but if I don't know that you have committed that mistake, then how do I know that whom to seek forgiveness?
Yeah, therefore we always do the Vaishnava Pranam. That is why we do this Vaishnava Pranam. Please forgive me and then bless me. And you are the desire fulfilling soul. Fulfill my desire of attaining the Krishna Bhakti. And this is when we offer, we are asking for forgiveness also for any offenses that I have committed to the people who are assembled or not assembled. So that covers as seeking for forgiveness for the Vaishnavas, for those whom we have committed unknowingly. So that's taken care. Because you've done unknowingly, that's been taken care. That will be taken care. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, that's why we have practices of offering our obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. It is not just simply a ritual thing to bend down on the Vanchakalpatarabhyasya, Kripa Sindhu. Kripa Sindhu, all the Vaishnavas have been Kripa Sindhu, a great ocean of mercy. Please forgive me all my offenses that I might have done knowingly or unknowingly, especially unknowingly. Knowingly, you shouldn't be doing a global pranam. You should individually go and address that issue. Cannot say, I did a Vanchakalpa, therefore all knowing things also gone. That's not an excuse. You have to address it separately. But unknowingly we have done, that will be forgiven. Bhupal Prabhu, that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And also sometimes when we hear the stories, the example of Rupa Goswami that you said, it is to tell us the seriousness of Vaishnava, apara to anyone for that matter. But the mind is not under our control. This is the problem. Out of three things, what are the three things? Three things. Manasa, Vacha, Kaya. That means mind, word, and action. Out of these three things, please tell me, which is the hard one to control?
Manas.
Manas. Mind is hard. But the great thing in Kali Yuga is Krishna forgives us on that aspect. Kali Yuga, he constantly keep making offenses to everyone. This Prabhu's like that Mataji's like that, she's wearing a tilak like that, things like I shouldn't say this one. Is Rechna Mataji is also here? Let me see.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Do not take this this is my mistake, but I'm taking you as an example because how my horrible mentality was, I have to disclose to every one of you here. One of the beautiful presentation that you gave when you spoke last time, Rachna Mataji, you can turn on your video if you are okay. Okay.
Yes.
That time you are having your tilak. Okay? The tilak was only up to this point. It was not a full-fledged tilak. It was only that one. I was thinking, what happened to the rest of the tilak? Right? Then immediately I recollected a beautiful pastime of Kūrēśa. You all know who Ramagnam Prabhu knows Kūrēśa. He enjoys the South India Yatra lectures of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj so much. He knows the story. So there was a devotee by name called Kūrēśa. In Tamil, his name is Kūrēśa. So, to save his guru, Ramanujacharya, he dressed up like Ramanujacharya. There was one king at that point of time, a Chola king. He was a great Shiva Bhakta. So he was trying to get an agreement and sign a contract from all the great scholars saying that Lord Shiva is the supreme personality of Godhead, not Vishnu. But everyone said, instead of going around and getting to everyone, you just get a sign from Ramanujacharya, you're done. That's enough for you. You don't need to go and ask for 10 people like this. If he signs off, you're good. Right? But they try to find Ramanujacharya. And if he's not going to sign, they're going to punish Ramanujacharya heavily, physically. Therefore, the news came to the disciples, and Kūrēśa is one of the disciples of Ramanujacharya, one of the favorite disciples of Ramanujacharya. His stories are beautiful, by the way. So he requested his guru to go to Melkote. Melkote is close to Bangalore. A beautiful Narasimha temple is there and Vishnu temple is there. Very nice temple. Anyway, then I'll go into that story. So Melkote. Ramanujacharya went to Melkote, but then Kūrēśa, who was a Grahastha, took the dress of sannyasi because to tell that he is Ramanujacharya and whatever. So the king can take action on him. So he was taken to the kingdom and he was told to sign the contract saying that Shiva is the supreme. He refused to do that one. They brought a hot iron, red hot iron rod and pierced his eyes. He became blinded. He was blind. A disciple gave his eyes to save his guru. Compared to these great souls, what they've done there for their guru, what we are doing is nicely having paratha, kichadi, and doing everything. Nothing we are doing actually compared to what these great souls have done. And anyway, we don't need to give the eyes, but we can use our eyes to read the books of ācāryas and gurus have given. Yes, to do so. Anyway, I don't. Now coming back to here, Ramanujacharya came and asked, Kūrēśa, why did your eye, how did you lose? I heard that you lost your eyes. What sin have you done that you have to go through this one? You lost your eyes. And you know what Kūrēśa said? Rachna Mataji? I don't know what sin what I have to suffer for my thought. He said, I must have seen a Vaishnava who did not put his tilak properly. I must have offended a Vaishnava who did not put his tilak properly. Therefore, I lost my eyes. I just got, when I realized, why am I thinking like that? My God, what Krishna is going to punish me?
No, Prabhu. No, it's my mistake.
I'm sorry
It's-
for mentally thinking about you like that.
It's my mistake, Prabhuji. I should wear the tilak
forgiveness at
properly.
your feet. Thank you. Anyway, let's move on here. I don't know how I got into this topic, what brought me into this topic. Anyway, let's see if Hari Krishna has a question and see if I can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think yes, I had two questions. I think those you have already addressed, but I will just repeat my questions, Prabhu. So one is related to the Vardhamana, and yes, in that one we have Arti and Dripti Praparthi, right? So in Arti, yeah, so since it will be liberated immediately, that's fine. And in the Dripti Praparthi, since they have to go through the remaining life based on their karmas, right? What if during that time they fall? Yes, so they fall from the practice and they go into a different, yeah, I mean, yeah, so they give up or something, Prabhu. Like in that case, they again have to rebirth and take that remaining one and in a devotee family. And
Yes. So here's the thing. Because you are surrendered, you fall down to this one. Two things Krishna could make a choice to do. One thing is that he will make you perfect and come back. Because Krishna will never forget what has been done so far. Because of the mistake that we commit, it doesn't mean Krishna is an ungrateful person that he's going to forget whatever you have done so far. We may forget. Our mentality is, you and I have a relationship. You have done so much for me in my life. Okay. But one thing you did, which I did not like, immediately I'll forget all the good thing that you've done in my life. Yes or no?
yes, that's
Only
our
the small mistake that you did will become like an elephant size. And all the good thing that I did like an elephant size will become like a mustard seed or invisible. That is human mentality. But when it comes to Krishna, even a little bit swalpam apyasya dharma, even you do a little bit, Krishna was grateful to us. He did offer me one flower. This guy would have not offered anything in his life. He must have even got a flower from his neighbor, not even spent the money. But he given a flower to Krishna. He gave a flower to me. If someone is only coming and giving to me one flower on my birthday, look at this guy. Instead of giving me a laptop, instead of giving me this one for what I am, is giving one flower. That's how my value is. But Krishna thinks he values me so much. So the point, what I'm trying to say here is, Krishna will correct the situation. Do you all have a time for me to tell another story on this?
Yes.
We still have time.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, there's one great Āḻvār by name Tondaradi Pudi Āḻvār of 10 or 12 Āḻvārs. Tondaradi Pudi Āḻvār. He is born in a Brahmana family and he was by himself. He had this service called making offering flowers to Ranganath. He had a garden himself. He had a full-fledged garden where he have this, make the flowers, make the garland and offer to Krishna, Ranganath. He was very focused in his services, very much. In that town, one dancer came. The dancers or those days, they travel to different kingdom and they perform dance and they please the king and they get, that's their salary. That's how they lived, the dancers those days. When she was passing through, she came to this beautiful garden of this Āḻvār. She saw, what a beautiful garden this is. And then her friend who was accompanying her, she said, oh, this is the devotee of Sri Ranganath, a great staunch devotee of Ranganath. And while we're talking and entering into the garden, as they're passing through, Āḻvār were also coming there. He didn't even pay a bit of attention to this girl. Didn't even pay a little bit of attention to the girl. If we have something attractive, our eyes immediately goes here and there. Whatever that we are attracted to. Our eyes goes here, there, and up and down, all those things, right? But it didn't even notice that someone is there. And that became a great insult for the dancer. Because she thinks herself to be the most beautiful lady in the creation, and everyone falls at her feet. And whereas this man considered her to be an insignificant dust. And then she said, how was that he didn't even notice me? And the friend said, I told you, he's a great devotee. For him, everything is Sri Ranganath. Your beauty, this worldly thing doesn't matter for him. And that lady, that dancer said, I'll change the program. She said, I'll change the program. I'll bet you he will fall at my feet and be at service to me. And the friend said, don't get into this egoistic thing. Just leave him aside, let him do what he wants to do, and you take care of your business. Why are you interfering in his devotee's life? Let him go. She said, I'll give within few weeks, you will see a big change. And she left. And then she came to this garden the next day, and she was cleaning the garden, taking care of the garden, and watering the garden. When Āḻvār comes into the garden, everything was already done. The flowers were already picked and put it in the basket. Everything was done. Āḻvārs was wondering, who's taken my service? Who's doing this one? He couldn't find. Next day, third day, fourth, every day it was happening like that. One fine day, Āḻvār found out that this lady is coming and doing this thing. And he said, this is my place. I want to do my service to God. Why you are doing this? You don't do this one. And then one fine day she was doing, and it was a heavy rain. And he knows that lady is, according to him, that lady is an innocent person who's trying to serve Ranganath. That's all he knows about her. He doesn't know the background. She is a devotee, also a devotee. Paramatma is present within her heart also. She's inclined to serve Ranganath. Who am I to stop her? And let me give an opportunity to her. And he invited her to home. Until the rain stops, she can go. Their relationship started. The relationship started between both of them. They started living together, and he totally stopped doing his Pushpa Seva. He stopped going to the temple. He forgot everything. For him, everything is this girl. Everything was revolving around this girl. Remember, such a great devotee, forgot about his services, forgot everything, and completely captivated by this woman. Completely captivated by this woman. Now, procession takes place. Like Rath Yatra takes place in South India, the procession takes place on a periodic basis. The Lord and Sri Mahalakshmi and Namperumal, they were taken out of the temple. They were going in the procession. When they're going on the procession, they came passing through these streets and the home of this Āḻvār. In India, you must know, if any procession goes, not any procession, if a temple procession is going on, deities are going, we all come out and pay obeisances, and then we do all those things, right? The procession is happening on that auspicious day, and the Rath is coming and standing right in front of, going to pass through. Āḻvār was busy with this woman, serving that woman. And at that point of time, the Rath stopped in front of their house. And Sri Mahalakshmi, the most compassionate mother of the universe for every one of us, she turned toward the Lord and said, "My dear Lord, why do you test your devotee like this? Why are you putting your devotee in this condition? He has come to, from which stage he has come to this stage, and you're simply watching and letting it go. Can you please help him, do something for him? Do you want him to continue like this for the rest of his life? Why don't you do something about the situation? He's going down and down and down." And the Lord smiled at his concept. When the Lord smiles, it's a special smile. And the procession continued. The next day, that lady left Āḻvārs and went back to her place. But what happened is he was so much captivated with this lady, he cannot live without her. Now he don't know what to do. Where he forgot that actually his service was something that's not his lady, but he don't know, he was becoming mad and doing, it was like that. It was like that. Now what happened is the king had some special jewelries, ornaments that was missing on a day. The Lord's, in front of the Lord's altar, some articles were missing, gold articles missing. But then one boy came running, one boy came running to this dancer's house and said, "Āḻvārs has given you some gift." And he handed over the gift to that lady. And this lady, all she wants is that gift. She took it and she was happy. But the king was notified that some ornaments were missing in the temple, in that place, in the kingdom. So he was trying to find who stole that one. The lady who was working as a maid servant at king's place and this dancer's place are one and the same. And that lady very well know this ornaments, this thing that there are, whatever the thing is, it is actually belongs to the king. She knows that. And she went and reported. She went and reported to the king. And king summoned for this lady to be arrested. And this lady said, "I have no clue this belongs to you. This was given to me by that person, that devotee, that Āḻvārs. It's not mine. He gave me." Then arrest that person, bring him here. And when he was brought, he was asked, why did you steal this one? He said, "What did I steal?" "Well, these things are all you have stolen." "I did not do anything." "Well, you are the one who gave to her." "I didn't give." And the king turned back to that lady, said, "You said he gave and he's telling he's not given." "Well, that boy who came, he is the one who told that Āḻvārs gave this one. Where is that boy? Find the boy." No one can find out that boy. At that point of time, Āḻvārs came to a realization, what a big blunder mistake that he has done, giving the service of the Lord and taking the service of this woman. Where was he and where was he now? What a big mistake he has done. He was repenting so much and he was suffering. This is all suffering that he has to go through by being summoned by the king to come, and he's going to be punished and all. This is all the suffering he has to suffer for the mistake he has done. But finally the Lord appeared to the king and told that he is innocent. It is all my pastimes, my leela. Relieve him. Let him go. Does this story answers your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. So the second question.
This is just one story. Like this, there are multiple stories, many stories are there, where the Lord takes control over his devotee who has fallen to correct the devotee. And there could be a situation where the correction may require another lifetime. Lord will do that. Or the Lord will give a second chance like this one. It is the story of Ajamila. He was been given a second chance. He went to Haridwar perfected himself. That as soon as the Yamadutas were driven away, not that he was qualified to go back to spiritual world. They did not take him. He was given a second chance to go perfect himself. And then at the end of the life, he was taken back. So, however Krishna wants to deal with our life is in his hand. But from our side, we have to be very, very watchful and careful. How we satisfy Krishna. We don't want to dissatisfy Krishna with our behaviors. Krishna should be happy. How do we know that Krishna is happy? When Krishna devotees are happy, we know that Krishna is happy. We are not so qualified to know whether Krishna is smiling at me or not smiling at me. We are not qualified. But the devotees are happy with our services, our behaviors, our dealings, so forth. Then Krishna, we can guarantee that Krishna will be happy. Okay. Do you want to say?
I was having the other question. I think you have already answered while answering to Bhupal Prabhu. The question was, when it comes to ajnana or gnana, and so until we repent, so once we repent, then those will be gone. But so in most of the cases, we don't explicitly repent to the Vaishnavas, right? Like meaning, so that's where I was about to ask. So the Vaishnava pranam that we do, will it considered as a repenting for the offenses that we made against those?
Yes.
Unknowing.
Yes, that does. And also, you can also on a daily basis, please, my Lord, and to all the devotees, if I've done anything unknowingly, please forgive me. You don't add no. If I've committed anything knowingly, please forgive me. We don't have that. We don't ask that prayer. Unknowingly I've committed, please forgive me.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, any last minute?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, small question. Prabhu, we are discussing last 2 weeks we were discussing about cleaning things and a lot of things where that is the perfect stage where we do all the things properly, cleaning, bathing and everything, right, Prabhu? And if don't do normally that accumulating sin also. So but due to so many reasons, we're not able to do all those, but we'll try to do chanting and all that. So how that will affect Prabhu?
Apply whether it's knowingly or unknowingly.
Because now you already told us, we know.
Now I've given you the entire formula here. All answers you should be able to find out now. Now the instruction has been given. Now you're going to do that. We are not doing. You must be telling, Prabhu, you shouldn't have taken that class first of all.
Yeah,
now,
Prabhu, you already told, we know now. But
exactly, that's why you must be cursing me. Why even made that into a jnana kritam? Now we know that one. Until now we didn't know that it falls into ajnana kritam. You told everything. We are into the problem now.
No, because what I wanted to ask you is sometimes because those, maybe for me I can say those are all higher standards. Yes, we'll try our best, but 99% we may not able to do also.
No, I
sometimes maybe I can give you one example also, Prabhu. Like
example
for this
example is good, because a generic statement like this is not going to help. You have to talk specifically. This particular thing that you told me is difficult. You have to come to the specification rather than telling a general statement. All these things are difficult.
No, a general statement also there, Prabhu, for all the things, but just one example, like suppose say in this morning I need to do bath, means I need to get up, I need to do bath and I need to sit for this chanting. But this meeting is 5 o'clock. I may not get up at 5, or maybe I just got up at 5 or just 5 to 5. If I do everything, then it will be late. But I join, and so what is my action? I do, just I get up, I sit, I start my meeting, chanting and all. Or, okay, I'll go back, I do everything, and I come back maybe 5:30, 5:45, and then I start.
what is the requirement I gave on in the school principle? The example I gave you in the analogy of the school. Is it necessary that I have to go to school on time with a proper uniform, or just going to school is important? You please tell me. Uniform is going to the school at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock is important. I don't need to worry about the uniform. How do you answer this question?
Ideally, it's both important, Prabhu, but suppose the uniform is like, I don't say optional because you may not agree, but sometimes, just I'm saying, Prabhu, but
No, I'm making you to understand there are some preliminaries, there are some basic requirements for us to satisfy. If you're not even able to satisfy the basic requirements, then it's very difficult. We cannot keep reasons keeping that, be opening the bridge and being on this one for chanting is more important than getting ready with a proper consciousness to take shower and cleanse ourselves and come. That is just an excuse in the name of doing service. This is why I was saying early also last week, I think, that we sometimes get into the Paramahamsa stage of giving service and chanting, and then rest of the else are not very important. We get into that mood. But my point is that as much as possible, the basic things we have to do. You make your day in such a way that you're able to fulfill those things, that requirements. You just said one example, as picked one example, so I'm just speaking on that particular example. If it requires for you to get up half an hour earlier, you have to make your previous day in such a way that you can get up on half an hour earlier. Or if you cannot do this one and you need extra time, 5 o'clock, you cannot do this one, you ask someone else, take help from someone else to do that one until you can get ready and come, take over. There are always ways if they have a will to do those things. Yes, I want you to continue and finish your questions.
no, Prabhu, I agree, but of course, this question to everyone. So you're making sure the basic things are done, but if there is a case where we cannot make it, but still you are making that basic requirement should be satisfied, and then to be part of.
Yeah, I mean, do not generalize what I said. With the example that I gave a response. These things could be something, for example, say I said this one, that once you get up from the bed, you should not go back to the bed. Remember that that thing also. Now
Yes.
you're taken shower and you're sitting here and chanting, right? Your 2-year-old kid or 3 or 4-year-old kid on the bed fell off from the bed. What are you going to do now? You're going to watch. You're going to relax and watch. I'm not going to touch that kid.
No problem.
Because it's not good. Well, you have to use your intelligence. Take care of the child first, put the child on the bed and do some achamanam. Don't come and enter anywhere. Do achamanam and cleanse yourself. So do not take my statement generalize saying that this is applicable for everything. Lal Gopal said everything has to be done, otherwise not this one. You have to use your intelligence based on the time, place, and circumstances. And unless and until you tell me a situation and scenario, I cannot give a direct answer. You spoke about taking shower, I gave a direct answer. Yes, that is needed. It's sad that sometimes you see that this is not at all nice, that the chanting bag is lying on the bed. This is completely inappropriate respect to the chanting bag. Because a bed is where it's not a clean place. Your foot is there. Your saliva would have come out of that. I don't want to make it full like a movie, and you're keeping your chanting bag on the bed, is completely a disrespect to the chanting bag. Likewise, use the intelligence. And you cannot find a way and no solution, then we can always reach out and we can have a particular thing that you are having challenge. We can always talk about it. Your situation may be not the same with others, so it could vary. Then we can always, there is a way that we can work out things. Yeah, and another point I'm telling you, this is according to the Yoga Shastra, right? When you get up in the morning, we have to get up early in the morning and then take shower. It is also said, if you can, I'm not promoting this one, please understand. It is also that taking a cold water shower is always good for body. It removes the toxins from the body. But anyway, you're taking a shower is removing the dirt and toxins from your body. That's why we run the water through our body to remove the dirts. And if the dirts and toxins are in our body, what type of energy we are going to produce? That's not good also. Okay. Let's see here. I don't know who raised hand first, whether it's Bhupal Prabhu or Kantara Prabhu, Sujata Mataji. Whoever you want to go next, please go.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, it's like maybe, I don't know if anyone have experienced, this is our experience and we feel like we have committed an offense for an invitation that we have received. That's why I want to clarify from you, Prabhu. Very lately, we got an invitation for, it's like a birthday party and kirtan together. But somehow we came to know that the devotees who invited us also eats meat, and accidentally they are using onion and garlic in the, I won't say prasad, the dishes that they served the devotees earlier. And to avoid, we are scared, Prabhu, to avoid the offense that we may commit by taking that food. Even if we try to let them know that we don't want to eat, but at least kids also eat, like we can't avoid kids eating there, right, Prabhu? That's why we avoided going there. But we told them we can't make it because we have other even commitments at that time. We told them, and also later I approached them and I told them like we couldn't make it because of this and this. Yeah, that is what we did, Prabhu. Did we lie to them, like saying that, Prabhu?
That's not a lie. That's not a lie. We have to understand something. Sometimes we have to indirectly, we have to convey a message in a way that the opponent can accept that message. If you're going to tell the truth, why you don't want to go there, they are not going to be offended. They are not going to like it. Okay, and this doesn't fall into untruthful thing. We are just trying to maintain the relationship, and you're not telling any big lie or anything, right? And you have been engaged in doing something else, and you want to decently avoid conveying the message of whatever you don't want to tell them. So it's not so. Sometimes we have to do this one.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
That is okay. Okay. Not everyone is going to accept the open statement. Sometimes you have to do these things among devotees to maintain your standards. Right?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Bhupal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah,
let's close this here as we're getting close to the Bhagavatam class.
Yes, Prabhu. It's a very small thing, Prabhu. So when you mentioned, I mean, small means like it'll take small time. So you mentioned that about the chanting bag. So I just remembered this from a class.
Hari Bol. Ramacharya Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Jai. We will be done in just.
No problem. Sorry.
No, you can stay here. You please stay here. Yeah, just few minutes. We'll be done.
No, bro, that's fine, bro. We can take it later, bro. I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarupyasya kripa sindhu bhavevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you all very much. We'll meet again for the exciting devotee sharing. I don't know who's going to do that. Meet tomorrow at 5 a.m. Central Time. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend.
Hare Krishna.